We will start with the invocation and flag salute by Mr. Jim Thorpe. Will you lead us in that, please?
Okay. Now, Father, we thank you for this day. We ask you to keep every one of us in health and give us peace and strength. As we do this, let us take care of business as we're supposed to. We give you praise in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. With that, we'll move right into the roll call.
All right. Trustee Patel?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Present.
Trustee Scherer? Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Anthony?
Yes.
Chairman Hunt?
Here.
And I am here as well.
All right. We're good to get going. All right. Our first order of business, approval of minutes. Everyone get a chance to review those? Any questions? Get a motion? Anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve the August 27th regular. Are we doing the regular
Okay,
minutes?
yeah, we'll do the regular minutes first.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular minutes from
Okay.
August 27th.
Can we get a second? Mr. Thorpe? Take a vote on those?
I wasn't here.
No, I was looking just kind of in that direction.
Trustee Patel?
Just in that area.
Trustee Reed?
Abstain.
Trustee Scherer is absent. Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Anthony?
Yes.
Chairman Hunt?
Yes.
And I also vote yes.
Okay, now let's move into the September 18th special meeting minutes. Any questions there? Any discussion? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to accept.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Second by Debbie. Get a vote?
Trustee Patel?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Anthony?
Yes.
Chairman Hunt?
Yes.
And I abstain because I was absent.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's roll into number 2, review of financial reports. Ms. Grace, would you like to join us?
Kara, is there anything you'd like to say, or would you like me to do this?
We just continue our downward trend of income as I expressed
What
last
page
month.
is that on?
That is
7.
on page 7, 8, and 9.
7.
Page 7 shows $40,000 in revenue last month. There's some new reports in here, page 8 and 9. These are off of our QuickBooks program, so I now have all of our transactions, detailed transactions in our QuickBooks program, so this profit and loss is generated by that program. Also, as usual, you got your profit and loss balance sheet and then our First United account.
Okay. Any highlights? I mean, it shows, yeah, we are seeing a smaller revenue. I think we've got less rooms this year than we did last year.
You do.
Okay.
It's not just here, I've talked to people that are more on that Fort Tulsa. The business is just not there. You can have 5 more motels, it's not going to make a difference. What it is, the business is not stopping and the economy is not as good. You know that as well as I do. The last 3 years, the economy has slowed down everywhere, even Ardmore, Callister, all those places.
Agreed.
But losing those rooms have not helped us either.
No.
Okay. Any questions? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, let's move into number 3, presentation by Mr. Curtis Armour. Please join us, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Today I'm not coming with a specific hard ask on dollars, more strategic thought process of things that have come up before. We didn't get them done, they got voted down. One of them was our big lighting project that we tried to do several years ago, putting LED lights across the streets downtown. We have to figure out, part of this is strategically figuring out how the city of Durant thrives, okay? City of Durant right now desperately needs sales tax. That's what they thrive off of. The city does as much as they can with what they got. If you do some research into the budget numbers, city needs sales tax. Tourism, in my mind, needs to be doing things that helps increase sales tax, that will also put heads in beds, that will make the whole community stronger in the long run. You know, the original thought process between that big lighting project was going from 4th to 1st, going around and doing Market Square, lighting it all up. Durant has a football game on Friday night, you light all of downtown up red. Southeastern on Saturday, you light it up blue. You know, Christmas time, you leave all of downtown lit up red, it creates a whole festive. And so my real request here is trying to figure out how we can be strategic in making sure that these dollars that get spent don't bring in tourism for a day or a weekend, but how do we do it where we have people coming in 40 weekends a year, spending time downtown, creating sales tax, and putting, you know, helping the hotel owners. And in my mind and in all the conversations that I've had, grants to do weekend things are great, and if we've got the money, great. It brings people in for a day, but how much is our return on those investments? You know, can we actually get down to dollars of how much money that brought into the city? Now, if we do things like there's been plans floated to turn Market Square into something like these last two Thursdays, what you guys have done with that is amazing. You bring 600, 700, 800 people downtown, there's sales tax, there's foot traffic, that's amazing. How do we leverage that to where we have that 40 weekends a year? That's the big ask. Is I would really, really like to see tourism begin to put money back into a project fund, knowing that there's a big lighting project. There's stuff with Market Square. There's plans on how can we redevelop and do something with the plaza. And it's not going to just be tourism. It takes the entire community. It takes all of us. It takes the chamber, takes the city, takes economic development. It takes everybody to get this done. But this is a big piece of it, and the resources that really transform a lot of our community are sitting here if we use it right. And so that is my big ask, is for you guys to think about, can you take $150,000 out of your budget every year, put it into a big project deal, find those projects to where we can make big differences, where we bring tourism 40 weekends in a year, not once or twice. And I hope that kind of makes sense. I mean, with what we've done with the concert series, you got 4 weeks that we're bringing in significant, and I can't wait to see what happens with sales tax revenue for those 4 days. How can we do that every weekend? And so there is a lighting project that I think comes before you at some point in time that's trying to outline the buildings. Great project. There's the bigger lighting project where we're stringing across the streets, LEDs lighted up all blue, red, white. But then the big thing is how do we figure out how to take Market Square and turn it into something we can use every weekend like we've been doing for these past 2 weeks. And so that's my real presentation today, is can we be strategic, think how we put this money to work, and what's the return going to be coming back. And so I hope you guys will at least consider that and have some discussions, and I'd really like to see that happen. With that, unless anybody's got questions.
I think just statements. I think that very valid points, and I think we've all moved into the same mindset of, you know, we've put a stop on grants, special grants. You know, we met our budget and the funding for that. We have now stopped that for now, and then we will, over the next couple of weeks, be meeting in very small groups to determine what is our real vision and strategy for how do we invest in our community, and
cohesive partnerships and all those discussions between the city and other community members is critical. We've all got to be rowing the boat the same direction. And over the past 10 or 15 years, as Janet knows, I've been screaming a lot of this for a long time. We've had no strategic vision. We've had no cohesiveness. And I feel like we have a council, a new city manager. We have some changes in here, and we are ripe. And I will tell you this, in a lot of ways, many communities around us are already doing the same things we've talked about for a decade, and our runway's getting short. And so I would really like to see a lot of these things happen sooner than later. So with that.
Yeah, and you said we don't have a sales tax based off that. Why isn't it? And, you know, you have Ada up there. We're getting all these corporations in. We've got, you know, the glass company, the steel company, and you're saying that we don't have enough. We have a higher tax rate than any other city in.
I'm just telling you, Jim,
I mean,
the
we're
2 cents.
10.5%, and everybody else
It's
is below us.
9
We should
3/8.
be having quite a bit of money coming in.
There's a multitude of reasons that we don't have the sales tax, and please, with the city manager, our city budget runs 23 million, give or take, and those other communities are significantly higher. Now, I can get into a whole myriad of reasons as why that happens, but I can also tell you, we stand, if we don't do some things different, we stand for Calera to be the one to be the benefit of it. Because if we don't watch it, retail boxes are gonna go to Calera with that new highway project, and we have not planned in our city for the last 40 years to take advantage of some of this stuff, Jim. We have missed opportunity. I've been here for a long, long time. I grew up here, and I've seen opportunity and opportunity after opportunity wasted and missed because we're short-sighted and we don't see the big picture and we don't have a collective, cohesive vision going forward. I've seen that my entire adult life here.
You have, but in the last 10 years, this thing's doubled in the size of all the restaurants and the.
I don't know that
the
we've doubled in
corporations and all
size.
this stuff in the last 10 years. If we tried to do it on 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you'd have nothing to work with. But this city has grown probably faster than any other little city around here.
We are considered one of the fastest growing cities, but again, there's other instances. I mean, I guarantee I can't buy a man's suit here. I have to go to Texas to go buy my clothes because I don't have anywhere here. When I go down there, my wife's going to spend money shopping somewhere else. There's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, and that's exactly what I'm talking about, the fact of we've missed those opportunities to try to create easy on and off the highway. And right now, with the traffic count probably dropping by 20% once you pass the casino, I don't think developers are really going to want to get here unless we make plans for a lot of this stuff. We start turning downtown into a destination, and whether we like it or not, I want the whole community to thrive, but the only way we are going to start with the finite amount of resources, the limited amount of money we have, is creating a central location, which in my mind is downtown, and creating that destination, and the rest of the community will thrive and survive. But we have to do that strategically. We have to do it with forethought. What's the plan? It's got to be master planned, and we've never done that as a community. Never. I know we've said that for years. I can remember former center managers, oh, we got a master 20-year plan. Never saw it. Asked for it more than once. We've never done that.
Whose fault is it that we don't have a place for you to buy your clothing? Is the chamber soliciting anybody? We should be bringing these people in and soliciting them.
Jim, we've been doing that for years.
We have about twice as many restaurants in Denison, Oklahoma. You got twice as many, you got all kinds of banks.
Well,
you got all
Kingston,
kinds of hotels.
we're not talking about Kingston.
Why
I
is it
referred
that
you.
they're not being solicited in to start, put a shop in for that? You know, if we need something, why not? What's the problem?
We've got a myriad of problems, Jim, and I'll talk to you after this, and we'll talk about that, and I'll point you in the right direction on a lot of it.
There should be no problem bringing in a mercantile like that. There should be no problem at all.
No,
Well, it shouldn't be, but it is
bringing
right
those
now.
developers is not easy. There's traffic count, there's per capita income, and I can tell you, I can go back 15 years ago, the median household income in Bryan County was about 48, the median household income in Grayson County was about 65, and it was 90 when you got to Collin County. They're not coming here. They'll stay down there because of that. So we begin to raise our wages, we get CMC, we get Cardinal Glass. Now we're getting in the ballpark, we're much closer, but now you're talking about 65 here, you're talking about 85, 90 in Grayson County, and it's over 100 in Collin County. There's one of the reasons you can't get that here. Until the traffic count, median household income, and all those align, developers with a lot of money are struggling to come here. And I know we have people that are fighting and trying every day to get that to happen. But until we take some steps to show that there's a reason for people to come down here, and that here's the next thing, Jim. How do we leverage the fact that there's 6 million people in that casino and we can't get any of them to come downtown?
Our per capita should be up in the last 10 years. What I'm saying is, if you don't believe it, if we didn't have the Choctaws with 6,000 population people working there, we look like Hugo,
Yes.
Oklahoma.
Yes,
Let me
I agree.
say something to you here.
I agree.
Y'all can drive around, and about 15 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago.
But Jim,
And maybe one or two more had Escalade here in Durant. You can drive down the streets and you can't tell me that per capita is not up.
it
You
is
can
up,
drive
Jim.
down the streets
I
and
just
you're
told you
saying-
it was
you're
up, but
saying
we're not
Mercedes,
near what Sherman Dennis Center.
Hold up.
We're going down a rabbit hole again.
We're not even talking about- Hold up.
We're talking about what we're talking
Jim.
about.
What we're talking about, what we should be, the conversation we should be having is how can we invest dollars into Durant
I agree.
and making a Durant a destination place?
And why can't we bring these businesses
And at some point we can, but we've all got to be on the same page. I've had some really great conversations with Pam and Kathy and Janet, and we've got a lot of people that are on the same page, that we've got to start somewhere, right? And those are the conversations, is how do we start and where do we go from there? And those are the very strategic conversations that we have to have, and then put an actual action in place to make this better.
But there's a lot of people making money right here, because you go look at.
There may be, but they're not. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get tourism because of it.
It's gonna be more sales tax coming in, which brings in more tourism, and if you have more corporations.
And that's
Tourism comes
the
when we
whole
have something
plan.
that people want to come to.
Yeah.
Other than the casino, what do people want to come to? 6 million people in that casino over the last year. How do we get 1,500 people a week out of that casino to come downtown? Now, do we have some restaurants? We have a little bit of that traffic, a fraction of what we should. What happens to our city if we get 1,500 people a week out of that casino coming downtown to some kind of event at some whether it's Market Square or the Plaza Theater? That's where we have to be. That's the long-term vision we have to have. And we've got a finite amount of resources to try to create this environment, and it's all got to be strategically placed, and it's all got to be on the same
And
page.
it's well known for the last 40 years that southeastern Oklahoma has been the poorest part of all of Oklahoma
Okay.
for years.
Absolutely. For years, we were one of the poorest counties in the state.
Dteda, all down through here.
Okay.
And it won't change overnight.
No, it won't.
It
change
won't,
overnight.
but
Time to start.
yep,
It's
I
time to
agree.
start, and strategic thinking, strategic placement, strategic funding is how that's going to change. And that's my ask, is can we be strategic in how we use our money that will create events downtown 40 weekends a year to create sales tax and also help hotel owners. It's simple. It really is. It's just got to be cohesive.
We appreciate you coming back.
I think we're committed to that.
We'll talk again, Jim. Thank you for your
Good.
time.
All right,
Thank you, Curtis.
All right, discuss, consider, and approve grant applications. We have Events International Rugby Tournament. And come on up. And so I know you've heard that we've stopped them as of now, and until we come up with a very strategic vision on how we're going to do things, then I can't give you a timeline on when we'll actually vote on it.
No, I was told, right, when I talked to Janet and I talked to a couple other people, I apologize for my voice again, that there is no grant money. And I understand that. And I wanted you guys to know that from my effort about bringing rugby events here will not die because there's no grant money whatsoever. I wanted you guys to know that my effort is still there, that we have 2 events that are already set for 2025. One is the Choctaw Sevens, which was brought in 29 teams from last year, from all over the South and up into the Midwest. It was a great tournament, and I think Janet was out there, and it's a zoo. I mean, there's 3 teams, there are 3 fields that are running at the same time, and there's all these people walking around watching the games and having a good time. Their families are there. Kids are playing up on the swing sets. So it's a really big event. So we're bringing that back in 2025. We're also have a real good shot at bringing the Red River Rugby Championships to here in May, which would be a really great event because it's twice the size of the teams are twice as large as when the Sevens tournament, and it's big. It's a weekend event, and they'll come in and they'll have a great time. What he was talking about before, Mr. Armour, is really enhancing the experience of people coming into this town. My point right from the start on putting on a rugby tournament, there's hundreds and hundreds of rugby tournaments around the United States. What makes coming to Durant different? Obviously we have the casino, but let's get the town to sponsor things. We've worked with the bars to have happy hours. The hotels have given us discounts. So we've enhanced the experience to bring people in. And an example of that is 29 teams we brought in last year. The the Red River Rugby Championships will bring in about that same number of people. And then in 2026, our big event will be the Gulf Coast Championships, which is a weekend event from here all the way to Florida, probably somewhere around 26 teams that are twice the size again, 15 to a side instead of 7. We'll have the June event, again, the Choctaw Sevens, and then a unique event that we'll put on in December of 26 is what they call the Mary Graham Invitational. This was a lady that was a rugby player in Texas that played for the national team, and she passed away. They put a tournament in her name, and that tournament goes around. It's an all-women's tournament, which is very unique in the whole rugby atmosphere of the United States. And in case you guys didn't know it, the United States won the bronze medal in the Olympics. You saw that girl that ran that final deal. Yeah, that was a heck of a play. By the way, she's on the cover of Sports Illustrated in this one too.
That's awesome.
Huh?
What month is this?
That will be in December. December of 26. The thing that's
No, 26.
of 26.
So we got a year and some time.
They've already given it to another group for 25.
We know for a fact, rugby brings in a lot of people. Puts heads in bed for 2 or 3 days. We've seen this over and over again with you. That rugby brings in more than anything else we have like that.
Yeah.
We know that. But we probably have to come back maybe January, February of next year, take a look at that.
Yeah.
We've got on freeze right now.
The one thing I wanted you guys to really emphasize in what I'm offering to the city and what I offer to the teams is I can use that word enhanced experience, because they got a choice. They can go to Houston or they can go to Corpus. We want them to come to Durant. Some of the other hand, we do the reduced entry fees. I have sponsors that sponsor just the youth programs. We have high school teams that are mostly actually from Oklahoma that have been here the last 2 years. We do the hosted socials, discounted hotel rates. We do pre and post tournament entertainment, working with the casino. They're pretty good at the entertainment deal. But the one thing I wanted you guys to know, I have not, of the grants that has been given me by you guys, I have not pocketed 1 penny of that money. That has all been to enhance the experience. And if we get it, great. If not, it's not going to change my attitude about bringing the event here. I'm just going to go out and house some more sponsors and try to get my hands in their back pocket and make it, again, just something that goes on everybody's calendar right from the start. So,
Well,
hey,
we
I'm not
appreciate
asking
that.
for anything. I'm just telling you guys that I'm with you guys 100% on
Thank you. And we understand enhancing, whenever we have events, enhancing, their experience when they come in is very important, and that should be our main goal.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, let's go to number 5. Discuss, consider, and approve the 2023-2024 audit. Who's our audit board? It's going to give an update on that one.
Okay, so I spent several months trying to find an auditor. I'd spoken with Justin Walker, and he does not do audits. I spoke with Autumn Williams, and they do not have the ability to take us on at this point. I did speak to iDaily. They also are full. Apparently in the state of Oklahoma, auditors are on very high demand and very low numbers. So Gray and Blodgett out of Norman were willing to do our audit. First year audit though is very expensive. It's $15,000 plus or minus. They have done several bank audits, so even our bank has been audited by them. So they have a great reputation. I did ask both Autumn and Justin about them, and they both had great things to say. So I know it's quite expensive in comparison to what we have been paying. but I don't know how we want to proceed with that.
Well, the other thing is, if something is wrong in it, they're responsible for it. So they take 100% responsibility, so we need an excellent audit, and then it'll come down as years go by. But we're out here by ourselves now. I don't think is the DIA, or is your account outside of the city of Durant?
No, the DIA accounts are inside of the city, and the city pays the audit, and the audit is $11,000 a year.
And it was okay when it was inside the city of Durant, because when they make an audit, and if anything was coming up, we're not responsible because it's down to the city of Durant and the audit. We're not anymore. We're the Lone Rangers sitting out here, and we can't have a half messed up audit, so it's gotta be good. And I have no problem, doing that. If I wanna have anything, I want an excellent audit, when we start auditing this place.
So what I'm hearing though is that it's really not whether or not it's a good audit or not, it's even the availability of an auditor.
Availability of the auditor.
So unless we have other options,
We don't.
We go with that one.
then we have to go, when does this have to be done by?
I'm assuming we already needed it started, didn't we?
I think it has to be finished by the end of our fiscal year.
By the end of our fiscal year, Janet says.
Okay.
Is that right, Jason?
Our fiscal year 23-24 ends, are we June to July or September to October?
June.
July,
June,
so it just
yeah.
ended a couple of months ago. We need to get it started, but we're not in major need.
I will say, the cities is normally on that our same fiscal year, and it's supposed to be done by the end of the year.
But if you guys get,
Sometimes they'll make that,
if
yeah.
you get great logic in here, they'll.
Sometimes it's been better if we stayed in.
There's only one
the city of
account,
Durant.
so there's, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be
Well,
that
But there's not
difficult.
much
And
out there.
And he
Not
did
if
say
you-
that depending on how many transactions we had, how difficult it was, obviously the price could come down.
Yeah.
That was just his base pricing.
The one that was even auditing, Ardmore, they quit doing it now, haven't they?
Yeah, they
They're not doing
retired.
it anymore either, so.
I make a motion, we go ahead and do the hire and get everything to them that they need for the audit and begin.
I'll second that.
All right, let's get a vote.
Okay.
Thank you, Jody.
Trustee Patel?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Yes,
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Anthony?
Yes.
Chairman Hunt?
Yes.
And I also vote yes.
Yep. Yep.
and
Okay.
just one other question, are you gonna go ahead and contact them?
Yes,
yet?
I'll
Okay,
contact him back.
Thank you for
His
doing
name is Ross, and apparently he's actually really good friends with, the Mickles, so who knew, but,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
really nice guy.
Perfect.
Thank you for doing
All
that
right, number
legwork.
6, discuss, consider, and approve additional information for wrap-up grants. Anything there? Move on to the next.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, discuss, consider, approve criteria for special projects grants. Grants. Who added that one? Was that you, Janet?
No, it was left from the last month, and you stopped that, so there's really nothing to discuss.
Okay.
What do we need to do not to table that, Jason?
No action.
No action,
We don't-
okay. And we don't have to add it back?
No, if you no action, it's just dead.
Okay.
Okay. Discuss, consider, approve guide to Lake Texoma advertising 2025. That's Grace.
Page 24 in your packet is the rate sheet for Lake Texoma. We do this every year. I'm not sure how long we've been doing it, but we do have the back cover at $5,000. It's time to renew that, so if you guys would like to discuss if you want to renew that or not.
So how much is it gonna cost us?
$5,000.
$5,000 in
You
utopia.
know, we've been doing this quite a bit, but, we're just like the DIA. They're giving grants and taking care of things. And that's what we do. We're not an out-front organization. We're not the Chamber of Commerce or anything close. We're not even, we're just, an agent trying to promote tourism. This right here, the chamber's already made it anyhow. What's it gonna be good for us as a tourism board to put our name in here? It's not gonna do that much, it's just another 5,000 we could use on getting tourism in somewhere else. I just don't see any chance of doing this anymore, because now the chamber will do it, and they need to promote this. This is the chamber's job, is promote.
Jim, is there anything that you don't want the chamber to do?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm ready, just my kids, I'm ready to freeze it for right now, until June, January.
Well, I think,
I just don't see us, the chamber, we're doing a double whammy, and the chamber's already doing this.
I think that the lake is a very important
Important, I
part.
agree, and I think we should support them in what they do out there. And all the new things they have out there, I think it's very important to get people here, so maybe they'll come in town, go to Walmart, and maybe go downtown, maybe spend the night. I don't know.
Do you
But
see
that's,
the DIA
that's,
putting their ad in here?
we're the Discover Durant Board, along with the chamber and along with Durant
It
Main
is a little
Street. I
different.
thought we were gonna be cohesive, that's what we talked about. We need to be more cohesive.
But you've already got the chamber in there, and that's why they do that.
so is there any, just from the past, there's no way to really tell our return
No.
on this investment,
No.
right?
No, I know we get a lot of books at the hotel that a lot of people look at, a lot of fishermen come in because of that, in my opinion. And, everybody likes the map of the lake in the middle of it, so where you come in here to boat, ski, fish, whatever. I think it's nice to have in the hotels.
And based
In the
on,
last 5 years, I've never had anybody come to the motel and have this magazine or tell us that they stay there because of this magazine.
but I think this funding is already in the budget. Is that correct? We already have this budgeted for this year?
We had that in the advertising
Yes,
budget.
because
as
we
part
did it
of the
last year.
And in my
advertising
opinion, as
budget.
close as we are, it's kinda like us supporting, like sometimes my bosses get mad because I do stuff like this. Well, you need to be a good community citizen, in my opinion, and to me, Lake Tucson is part of our community, just my opinion. But
So just to clarify, we already had this in our advertising budget.
Yes,
So technically, we're not spending any extra funds that we
Any more.
already budgeted.
no, because the budget was same as last year, this was also the same as last year.
Thanks for the
You're
clarification.
welcome.
I just don't see any reason to do it twice. The chamber's already in there, and that's just $5,000 more to go tourism somewhere else.
I make a motion that we go ahead and move forward with the advertising piece. It is included in the budget, and if we want to reconsider again for next fiscal year, that will be fine. But
Is there a way to,
tourism is the hardest thing in the world to see what the return on our investment is. The one thing I do know, and I disagree with what Jim is saying, is if we do not let people know that we are here, they're not coming. And digital marketing is going. This is also digital, and she sends it out that way as well.
what does that look like? Have
What
we-
is the
is it-
deadline on this? When do you have to have it in?
She needs to know as soon as possible because we have a prime spot.
So you have to by January to get it in?
Probably end of October.
Closing date's
Closing
November
date's
1.
November 1.
So we need to make a decision now to get everything in place. I mean, from my thoughts, we've done it, it's the back page. We don't know how much it brings in, but for $5,000, I think we've
What's
given $5,000 away for much less. For how many does this publication get out to?
40,000 books produced annually.
So 40,000 of them. I mean, advertising's advertising.
No,
right?
I agree.
Okay, I think that's, yeah,
I'll second it.
okay, let's vote.
Trustee Patel?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe? Vice Chairman Anthony?
Yes.
Chairman Hunt?
Yes,
And I will vote yes, since it was already in the budget.
okay. All right, now let's go through the discuss, consider, and approve Oklahoma Travel Guide 2025.
Page 25 is your Oklahoma travel guide for the year. They also need this as soon as possible. We last year did a full page ad for the run a book. This year it's $8,100 for a full page ad in the Oklahoma travel guide.
And this is how much?
8,100.
None of that.
So who does this, how many go out in this one?
Yeah, I still say on this one here.
This is no longer a physical, it is a digital version. And because of that, I would recommend that we do cut down. I'm not saying not advertise, because I think maybe a half a page might be the best way to go. But I'm
Sure.
really,
I think it's okay for the chamber, that's the other thing, that, you know, the tourism
Well-
going in to throw another $8,000 to this is just what we could use to somebody somewhere else.
Which is,
The chamber, yes.
I have a question.
The chamber, you have a question?
Yes, this does say 150,000 plus print and digital copies per year. Have you heard otherwise?
yes.
Okay.
Have you got the,
It also says that.
have you got the copy of the advertisement
Yeah.
from last year?
No,
You don't have what's on that page?
not with me, no.
So did we miss the deadline? Or
They
are
said
willing to
that
open it?
they will still take it, but they need to know as soon as possible.
Do you have any idea what was on the page last year?
A Discover Durant ad,
It said the whole page?
yes,
Advertisement.
the full page.
So I say, I agree with Janet. I think we go away from the full page, just until we really have another, let's go with a third of a page. Square or vertical, $2,600 this year, and then we'll figure it out before we get it, do it again next year.
That's good.
Okay. So I'll make the motion to approve
I'll
the
second.
$2,600. Let's vote.
All right. Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Trustee Patel?
Yes.
Trustee Anthony?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Hunt?
Yes.
And I will vote yes as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Item number 10, discuss, consider, and approve the request for proposal for Dteda management contract. So, special meeting we went through, we had asked Jason to make a couple of updates, and he has made those updates.
Yeah, I made the updates that you guys asked for. I made some other updates that I went and did on my own just because you're a lawyer and this ought to look like a legal document. So the first couple of pages are things that I felt like should be included. You get to page 2 is,
A little bit louder.
am I not speaking in the microphone?
Is it turned on?
Or do I just need to shout at you?
Yeah, it's on.
All right.
We know.
All right.
Just can't let us, it'll be okay.
When you get to section 1, that's the meat and potatoes of what was in the original RFP. Sections 1 through, I want to say 9 or 10 is the RFP that we issued previously and discussed and what I made changes to.
Can I ask you a question before you get there?
Yeah, go ahead.
On this right here, we're sending this out, how are we sending it out? Newspaper, internet?
I will post it publicly, and I already know that there are interested parties, and I will just inform folks, hey, this RFP is coming out, so if you're interested or you know someone's interested, contact me, and you can come get a copy of it. Because they have to return them to me, too.
So we're advertising, we're not sending this out. If somebody comes and picks up a phone call, you'll send this out to them.
He
right?
said-
Yeah,
It's gonna
it'll be
post
posted
publicly.
publicly also that it's available. I'll just have, a couple of copies sitting around somewhere.
Okay, good.
And this is gonna be, what, for 30 days?
I've got all of the timeline that I came up with in the back. The timeline that I came up with says advertisement of RFP begins October 1st, which is tomorrow. The deadline for them to respond is October 28th, which is the day before our meeting in October. October 29th, we will do interviews of the interested parties with the winner, if there is one, being announced on at the November 26th meeting. And between November 26th and January 1st, we would draw up and approve a contract, and the new contract would be in on January 1st.
Okay, I like that timeline.
On the section 6 requirements, I know we're looking at that. The professional office, whether it's a professional office or if we have an office inside the city hall, I guess that's.
I think that a professional office in City Hall would meet the requirement of a professional office in a prominent height.
You wouldn't meet it?
I think
Yeah,
so.
we had
Yes.
the last meeting.
Jason, on section 4, scope of work and
Uh-huh.
deliverables,
Yeah.
on G, it's got review and implementation of grant funding for tourism event applications.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to strike that?
We certainly can.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
That wouldn't be the management company, that would be you guys.
Mhm. Okay. Any other questions about this?
What?
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have some more questions here.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So these are gonna be sent to his office. The other thing I have, and that's all okay, I'm looking at, of course, it'd be better if it's 60 days, but I guess 30 days is enough. Now, if they do send in and submit it,
Mhm.
it's gonna be submitted to you, right?
It's coming to
In
me.
a sealed envelope, like we discussed the
I
last
don't see
meeting.
the seal envelope.
Well, they're coming to me, 8 copies in an envelope. I mean, I guess
So
if they,
you will be-
I guess if they bring them to me loose leaf, I'll put them in an envelope.
So they'll be sealed until we come here, and then we'll all look at it.
Yeah, y'all can open them at the same, yeah.
So you're gonna tell them, even if it's not in here, that anybody that does it, then it's being a sealed envelope.
I'll seal, if they don't bring them to me in a sealed envelope, I'll put them in an envelope, a big manila envelope.
I'd rather them exactly be in a sealed envelope, not even just bring them to you.
Well, as he talks, you can just tell them that whenever they
I mean,
call to.
I'll add that as a requirement, I don't care.
I
Okay.
think the sealed envelope is the only way that you can have them come in here. That's it. That way they're open when you get. So, nobody knows, even you don't know what the bid is until they get here on, in front of us.
That would be,
I'm gonna put it under section 10, last paragraph, it says 8 copies of each proposal should be submitted, and I'm just gonna add the clause in a sealed envelope.
okay.
Yeah, 'cause that's what we'd have talked about.
Mhm. Okay. I like it. Any other questions?
I don't know, do you have any more?
No. I think with those last couple of changes, I think we're good to approve it with those changes being made, and
Okay.
I like the timeline,
Mhm.
so. All right,
All right, thank you, Jason.
Mhm.
we need to approve that? Do I need a motion to approve the RFP with the changes that we asked for? Anybody?
Well, it says approved, so yes, I
Okay.
guess we need to. I'll make a motion to approve the changes for the request for proposal that Jason's gonna make. Management contract.
Okay. I'll second this. Let's get a roll call.
Trustee Hunt? I'll start with you.
Yes?
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Anthony?
Yes.
Trustee Patel? Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
And I will also vote yes.
Okay. All right, number 11, discuss, consider, approve additional funding for the fall concert series. So first of all, great job to you guys that are putting that on, and the first 2 weeks have been absolutely outstanding. It's been really great for our community, so I appreciate the hard work that you guys have put together, because you guys have done a really great job. So the additional funding for the fall concert series is for the bigger stage. I think to put on, the types of entertainment that you guys that we put on so far, to not have the bigger stage just doesn't give us the same aesthetics.
No, it doesn't.
That's
So-
$4,500 for each.
Yes, yes, but it looks amazing. People have made so many positive comments about it, so I think, we need to approve the remaining 3 the remaining 2. We had 3 additional concerts. We need to do it for all of them, so, I made the motion to approve the additional 3 weeks at $4,500.
Sure, when you have big names coming in, and you have that little dinky stage over there, it just doesn't work.
I agree.
I've passed by it a couple of times, and there's people all over the place down there. They pretty well. On the other ones that were the smaller ones, they'd get 200 people in there, and you start figuring $30,000 times 200 people, you're paying $200 something for everybody that walks in the door, just to be down there. But these people came, and a lot of them walked away, and they were parking 8 and 10 blocks away, If anybody benefited, of course, it benefited the hotel some, but if anybody benefited, I have never seen at that time of day and that time of night, all these restaurants were packed out. Because even when it was going on, they were still doing that. So, I mean, these guys pulled in tremendous.
Yeah, and the next 2 weeks are going to be better. I think we do have some additional funding with the porta potties.
Yes, that's what I was gonna remind you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Thank you.
one thing that we learned from the last one was the lines for the porta potties are just too long. I think I'd sit and timed one is like 20 minutes waiting in line. So we don't want people waiting in the line 20 minutes when you got a concert going on. So I think the additional funding for that was what, $1,000 for the
About
additional porta
$750.
potties for the remaining weeks?
About $750.
Is there
Okay,
any way-
$750.
Is there any way we could get a different kind of porta potty? And have about 10 or 15 of them and have them corn operated where you have to put it.
Always making money.
You can get
Yeah.
the, what do they call them, the royal thrones?
Yeah.
But you're gonna pay double for those, so.
I think we're good with the additional and the 750, so I make the motion for the additional funding for the fall concert series.
So,
And I'll
total-
second
total
that.
amount is how much?
12,000, 13,500, 14,250.
Okay, so 14,250. All right.
Okay. I made the motion, any
I
second?
second it.
Okay, let's get a roll call.
All right, Chairman Hunt,
Yes?
Trustee Reed,
Yes,
Trustee Anthony,
Yes.
Trustee Patel,
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe,
Yes.
and I will vote yes as well.
Good, good. And again, great job on that concert
you.
series.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely amazing. All right, number 12, informational items. Discover Durant activity report.
I have an update on the last vote that we had for the billboard. It was approved without any additional changes, but I've asked for what you guys asked for, and they gave us one free additional change for that billboard.
Beautiful.
So that's just an update on that. If you look on page 27 and 28 in your packet, I've got some website data. Our social media and our websites are doing fabulous right now with fall concert series traffic. We've had 6.4 thousand users in the past 90 days, with the past 28 days being nearly 3.4 thousand clicking onto our website for
That's awesome.
fall concert information. Our Facebook is also doing really good with 240 new followers in the past 28 days. All of our videos, our shares, and our comments and photo views are out the roof right now. So to be expected with fall concert series, but better than expected.
And you're talking about our webpage, right?
Yes.
I think it's the best thing we've ever done. What it is we've done this in Beth Western for many years. When we started this up about 2 years ago, the main thing, and I still come back to this, when we have those signs out on the highway, we don't need a bunch of numbers and small stuff. The main thing they need to see on those things is discoverdurant.com. And they need to go to when we get on that webpage, the current events. And if you got discover.com, about 80% of the people that, especially under 6 years old, will go to that page and find out when they're gonna come back for all these concerts and all that. But sometimes even on our billboards out there, we're making them too small and you can't see it. Have you seen anything like
Yeah.
that? And it's a waste of time, and we don't need a big flower there. We need just Discover Durant. We need.
Well, apparently our media-
2.5 thousand people have typed in discoverdurant.com to go directly to the website. That wasn't through any clicks on social medias. They would have had to seen that on print somewhere.
Yeah.
That made them type that
We
in.
want more than that. You did send me out, and I did send all the hotels out the other day and said, how'd you do on the concert night? And I never did respond.
No.
But on me, it's better if we can literally make it to where it doesn't coincide with another event. It would help us considerably. Because on this last weekend, what y'all didn't know is you had a Southeastern State Radio, and they come in sometimes on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. And so all of a sudden, half your room's already gone.
Well, that's gonna be hard when we are growing and we have so many events. If we're gonna have the Thursday night fall concert series and
We can-
something else is going on.
We can
We were
separate.
sold out
If
either
we-
way,
If we
so.
look ahead and we look and see what's coming up, they don't have to be 3 or 4 right in a row. We just need to put them on a weekend where we don't have a whole bunch more stuff going on.
Trustee Thorpe, I
Mr.
would like to
Chairman.
point out, go ahead.
we did try a different marketing strategy this year. And we will have a full report on that as soon as concert series is over with.
I think, a valid point.
One thing
We
that-
still have, before next year, we'll certainly take that into account as we schedule.
I think they
These-
have always taken that into account.
Yeah.
We also gave the Southeastern Rodeo a grant. We did know that they were
Yeah.
gonna be here.
Yeah.
Because, that probably fill up everybody in Denison.
So, something to take into account next year,
Yes.
but, good to, all right, report from Choctaw Nation Tourism Department?
Page 30 is a report from Joe McDaniel on the resort concerts coming up.
Some good ones there.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, old business. Any old business? Any new business? Is this where we can talk, should we talk lighting? Okay, so, with the lighting project that has been communicated, the plan to outline the buildings with lights, I think is huge for direct. It's a huge opportunity for us. In conversations with Miss Pam and Main Street and Janet, and we've really got a lot of people working on this project.
Did we do this last year?
No, well, not what we're talking about now.
Okay.
So the lighting projects maybe in the past have been put lights up, take them down, pay $3,000 whatever to take them up, put them down, and this project would be to actually have lighting that stays, LEDs that we can actually light up Durant with different holidays, days,
And leave it here.
and leave it there. And so there will be additional funding needed for that. Main Street already has some funding set aside for it. Miss
How
Pam,
much do they have on that? Main Street? How much funding?
I don't remember what it was. I think it was
10?
18, 15, 18
Well,
maybe. I don't know.
We have the group that you granted the 25,000. We have 18,000, and that's still
Okay.
available.
Are they planning on putting any more in? At least half of it?
Well, we're not discussing
No,
this
we
really,
can't.
just bringing it up.
I don't know
Put it
that,
on next.
we're still going through funding opportunities, but I know that.
We
that-
have already committed, the board, our trustees have already committed 25,000 to that lighting project. We have, at this point, 18,200 left, and that's what we're waiting to see if we're gonna be able to get the rest of the money to go ahead with the project.
Well, is the board going, before the, city council and seeing how much they get there? Because in any other city,
Yeah, well, I
the
thought we're not
city
supposed
has
to-
no
Would you go
choice.
ahead and
We're
finish?
working with the city, and they have committed
new
to
business.
a number that I think will help. And we're also having conversations with others, so I think that we'll get there. I think that, of course, I don't know that we're going to try to approve any a dollar amount tonight, but knowing that we've got to move quickly, we will probably be bringing in another special meeting to approve that, to get that job, to get that funding there, because I think it's important, so.
We can't prove anything tonight, but we can sure get it started next
Yep.
week. So we think the city might give some on that too.
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
We will. What about?
Miss Pam says yes, we will.
Well, I mean, that's good, isn't it? The other thing, I've seen this last 3 or 4 years, and I know downtown Main Street, wants to get quite a bit of things too. But you know what? In other cities, most of them don't have a tourism board, or some of them do, and some of them don't even use it for that. But I'm telling you, they can put legs to their downtown Main Street too, because you got all these, businesses out there. And if these businesses, at least half of them, the businesses is, hey, could you donate $1,000 or $500 to lighten up downtown Main Street? If people are proud of it, they're gonna do it. You would, wouldn't you? you know,
My owners
you look at
weren't,
it,
wouldn't, but I
you
would,
put in,
yes.
You know, any motel's gonna put in 100 or.
My owner
and
won't,
some
but I would
restaurants
personally,
do.
yes.
And so they got other places they can get it besides the city and.
Okay,
here.
we're not supposed
And
to
that's the
continue
plan.
talking about
It's
this.
slush fund, but what it is you have people. that
Slush
you
fund,
go to
like there's
the
such a thing.
People in Durant wants to back that, and that will even make them more proud if they will come and do that. I've asked them for the last 3 years, and, you know, I know, I'm proud of them, they did an excellent job. We go down there, but your deal is, I've asked them before, in the last 3 years, that on a Friday and Saturday night, have it even out on the side, out on the highway, and say, one weekend a month, have it to where the whole downtown Main Street gives them a discount of 10% off anything. Surely they can mark it out and take care of that. But I mean, you know, on a Friday and Saturday night, you know, up till 7 o'clock, they'll get business, but it won't start in a month. It will take them 3 or 4 months. But you know, that will help us too, and that will make them more business downtown. Because people get off at 5 o'clock. Where they have to go? Well, it's our own fault. They're gonna go over to Dennis and Sherman. Why? Because everything's
I
closed
think,
here.
I think those conversations are happening.
Yes, they
So-
are, and people,
It's been
merchants
happening
have
for 3
been,
years.
I know,
Well-
because of COVID, a lot of the merchants couldn't afford to keep people.
All of us.
But I agree, and I really believe that we're in a position now to really start making some of those changes. And that's why, you know, over the next couple of weeks, we'll start having the individual meetings with you guys to really talk about what our strategic vision is and how do we push that, and then how do we be a good partner with everyone else.
Yes,
So-
because in any other city, when you need money like this, people go to the businessman because that makes them feel part of it. When they're getting it from somebody else, who cares? But what it is, when they're part of it, bringing this down to downtown or anywhere else, then it makes them more happy too. And so,
Okay.
you know, they feel more, they feel more into Durant because they're having to make Durant happy.
Well, I think in order to do this properly, we have to have buy-in from everybody and get skin in the game. So, with that,
I make a motion to adjourn.
okay.
5 seconds.
Trustee Patel, Trustee Reed is no longer here. Trustee Thorpe,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Anthony,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
I vote yes as well.
Comment.
No.